Hey there. How you doing? You good? Good. On our play for this week, PlayStation 5 Pro is real, and it's coming out at the right time, we believe. Stellar Blade's not safe for work skin will make things hard, and we're not just talking about the game.
Hmm.
Oh, I see you changed it. Nice. Does the mysterious Megaman helmet design hint at a new Mega Man game? Mhm. Final Fantasy VII's Rebirth sales numbers are doing the opposite of birthing. Not great. All this and more on season 8, episode 11 of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, DJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka the man with the electric gun in Helldivers 2.
Hmm.
I am joined by.
Sean MF Ross.
Hmm, what does the MF stand for?
You know what else is real?
Hmm,
The
what's
One
real?
Piece.
Ah.
Hmm.
One day, you guys will get there, and it's going to be such an amazing experience.
Hey, join me, my brother. Join me, my Nakama.
It would take me like a decade to catch up. Oh man.
What
All
else are you
right.
doing with your time?
That's true. Just breathing and childcare, and I got the time. Yeah. Just got to stop doing one of those things.
Nah, you can just start watching it with London, man.
London, yeah.
Yeah, sure, proper
You know,
anime.
funny enough, I started Pokemon Horizons with her, and she was able to follow it a little bit, but
Hmm.
there was Pokemon, so they do Pokemon battling. So once the battling started, she's like, oh no. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. It's just a little action. It's okay. No one's gonna get hurt.
Sean
Yeah.
has seen murder on TV already.
Right?
She's like, oh no, run away. You're like, she sees
Right?
people get shot and stabbed. So, I mean, it is what it is. I'm a terrible father, whatever.
But okay, so before we start this cast, because I gotta mention this because it's a weird it's a weird dichotomy with London. So this past weekend, I was at my parents' house and we were chilling or whatever, and my stepdad had sports and stuff on.
Mm.
So it was just going through different sports, whatever. It went to MMA, and it was a Ronda Rousey fight. And London, mind you, this whole Pokemon thing, Pokemon battle. She ran up to the TV. It was like kick, punch, kick, punch. And
Hey,
I'm like,
you just
wait,
don't want to see animals get hurt. People,
exactly right.
fuck them. Let them bleed.
So yeah. All right. Yeah, now you know more about us. This is Press X Star Gamers Digest, a video podcast against the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday. Period. Okay? Period. Life. Don't forget, you can support us by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, hit the notification bell. If you're listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or the podcast service you're currently tuned in on.
Leave
And
a
if you want
review
to
on
join our
Yelp.
conversation,
Fuck it.
hey, do it. Put
I
Get
don't
us
know
on Yelp.
how. I don't know how, but
Right?
fuck it. Leave a review on Yelp.
Make us the top service on Yelp. We know you
Mhm.
can do that for us. All right, yeah. If you want to join our conversation, you can by joining our Discord at pressxmedusa.com/Discord. Now, with that out the way, let us jump into making sure everything is recording. Yes, it is. The gaming news. Number one. PS5 Pro specs leaks are real, releasing holiday 2024. This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of Tom Henderson. So, this is just to reaffirm these leaks that we've been slowly getting about for the PS5 Pro. There was some more conversations that the PlayStation devs, have been using the Pro for a couple months now, and everything just kind of solidifying to it being a fall holiday release for this year. Before we actually get into this, do we need a PS5 Pro, Sean?
I do.
You do? Oh, you do.
I want all the things.
Right? Sean wants it purely because it exists.
Yeah. I just gotta figure out how to hide the box when it comes.
Right?
My wife
Right?
is
Just
gonna be
swap
like,
it.
I thought the PlayStation looked different. I'm like, yeah, I changed the faceplates. They got faceplates. You could buy a faceplate.
When you started up, it says, "I am the pro." It's like,
Yeah.
wait, can I turn that off? Yeah. So okay. So these are the in the leak document. It confirms that the PS5 Pro will render 45% faster than the PS5. It will have 2 to 3 times ray tracing. I guess faster ray tracing,
Mm.
4 times in some cases. It will be 33.5 teraflops better because we all know what that means.
Mm.
Uh, it will have PSSR, which is PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. That should really be PSSSR, PSSSR
Mm.
instead of PSSR. Anyways, uh, that is essentially the PlayStation AI upscaling. You know, is that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. So yeah, and then it will support for resolution up to 8K is planned for future SDK version, meaning that the base box will not have 8K support.
We're not even gonna read that line. Just
And
you
then it
got
will
us once
have
before.
custom it will have custom machine learning architecture and then AI accelerator supporting 300 TOPs of 8-bit computations. That's 67 teraf. I don't I don't know what any of this stuff
Numbers,
means.
people, more
Numbers,
numbers.
yeah,
All the
yeah.
numbers.
We need PlayStation to give us like, hey, look, this is Spider-Man on the PS5, and then this is No Way Home Spider-Man on the PlayStation 5 Pro.
I mean, so it's not gonna be a generational jump. This is
It's not for sure.
like between PS4 and PS4 Pro. I mean, like some games just ran a little bit better. They didn't struggle as much because the computing power was there. But
Mhm.
for anybody looking to upgrade, thinking it's going to be a PS5 to PS6, like we're already at the point of diminishing returns. At this point, like ray tracing and all that isn't purely just used for like visual reflections that we can see or making things
Yeah.
shiny. Um, when they say 2 to 4 more times ray tracing, these things can be used for physics in
Mhm.
games and stuff like that. So it's you know it, it
Yeah.
it's hard to actually advertise this to the common person other than just showing them reflections.
Mhm.
We're past the point of like graphical fidelity. Like I said, we're at the point of diminishing returns. So now it's purely more physics and how many things they can fit on the screen. And some
Yeah.
people don't even care about stuff like that. So you
I
know,
mean, I think
I
looking
hope they
at
don't plan
this,
to sell a lot.
like my thing looking at this is like, oh, these numbers are cool.
Mm,
I kind of weigh heavily. I weigh more heavy on the rendering 45% faster than PlayStation 5 because 45% faster. Of course, that is already rounded up. I'm rounding up more to about 50% faster. And if you think, whatever game you're playing, that's not Spider-Man because that game just loads like,
optimized. Yeah.
yeah, it is insane. But like whatever game you're playing, if you're in a load screen, it will be almost 50% faster, which is
I
like,
don't think that's what they mean by rendering.
you don't think so? Oh, yeah, you're right. You're
You're
right. Because
thinking
it's
something else.
actually rendering the screen. Okay, yeah.
That's more
Okay.
like textures loading in and things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You're
So
thinking of like the
less
RAM.
pop in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, so I don't
So
know.
like I said, it's hard.
It is. It
A
really
lot of
is.
people
Yeah.
don't understand what all these terms mean. A lot of people are just gonna buy it just because it's the new thing, and
PS5
then
Pro.
complain because it still looks like the old one.
Mm-hmm.
Stamp it.
Like, I think right now this box is just a nice to have, but
Mm.
I really feel like I'm not sure if we talked about it last week or whenever, but I really feel like this is essentially to get ahead of GTA 6 because
Mm.
that game is probably going to be such a powerhouse of a game that's going to require so much from the consoles
Yeah.
that having a box like this to play that game is going to be a match made in heaven. Like I
Hopefully, we're not
wonder.
running
I mean,
into a cyberpunk issue
that's
where
true. That like you're totally right, man. Like I'm holding out hope that like this is Rockstar. Like their whole motto or their whole company relies on Grand Theft Auto, especially
yeah,
online, like
I don't
doing
see them. I don't see
gangbusters.
them effing it up. I have a little bit more faith in
Yeah,
them than
CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So this is supposed to be coming out in the winter. So here's another thing too.
Mhm.
It is winter of 2024. They can, because it's winter, they can kind of finagle it to, if it happens to
As
be
late as
delayed
December.
out of December. Oh, yeah, if it happens, it could also go into January because of the winter.
Nah.
Like, although it says 2024, like that's where it gets kind of interesting. But I don't necessarily think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get this probably mid-November.
Oh,
Like,
wow. Okay, so winter is considered December 21st up to March 19th?
mm-hmm. Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. It's holiday 2024, so it's not even winter, so it's holiday. So
Oh,
it's gonna be 2024. Yeah, my bad. So yeah, I could probably see this coming out in
okay.
like
So yeah.
mid-November. Yeah. So
That
they
yeah,
get
November to December.
so they get like actually probably early November because they get like one round before Black Friday. They get another round Black Friday, and then you have December, or, Christmas and after Christmas. So yeah, that's that. Number 2. Spider-Man: The Great Web trailer leaked online. This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of Grant Taylor Hill. So, if you don't know what Spider-Man: The Great Web is, no, it is not the next Sony movie. It is actually the canceled Marvel Spider-Man multiplayer game. There's a trailer online to find it. I'm not playing that trailer because I don't know what copyright strikes will be given to us if we do play that trailer because it's not in the release thing. So, did you happen to watch the trailer for this?
Yeah, I've seen it and it looks interesting, but it's just so odd.
Yeah.
We're coming in an era of a lot of games had 3-player multiplayer online, which was an odd number for some reason. I mean, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
And this had 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why 5? Why did they settle
Maybe
on that
that's why it
number?
was canceled because they had 5-player multiplayer instead of like 3 or 4. Like, but yeah, you're totally
Sony
right.
said
like,
5. What is this stupid shit? Cancel this.
right. Like, can
Now,
you drop it out of 3? Like, no. Everything's built off of 5 ultimately. Like, okay. Yeah. I I think the trailer is cool.
mm,
Insomniac, they make great trailers. I think the concept of running around New York City with your spider buds doing spider things is cool. I think 5 people, like as you say, like that is
could
such a
possibly need
weird.
5 Spider-Man. As strong as he is supposed to be, I know he holds back. What could
Yeah,
possibly need 5 Spider-Man?
yeah. So like
Beating down
that,
on
and
one.
on top of that, it's 5 players against the Sinister Six. So even if you're like, oh well, maybe it's like 6 players versus 6 Sinister Six, that makes
Mhm.
sense. But like 5 is like, why is that? Why is that the number that you picked to do this? I think I understand why they canceled this game. I think it looks cool. It looks like a fun time, but for me, I can easily see myself spending maybe a day and a half, and just be like, all right, this is Spider-Man essentially, but with other people, either helping out my combos or messing up my combos. So
So
it's like, okay.
I hate that every multiplayer game coming out now has to be a live service dealy bob. Like
I will push
we
back to that though.
what?
I will just say that it's not every game. It's just Sony right now, that's the focus because they need those live service games to make the money to keep their engines going essentially.
I
So like
hear
that's
you.
why this focus is
I
happening
hear
this way.
you.
Yeah.
This could have just been a mode slapped on there that had a month or two worth of content. If people wanted to play it past that, fine. Look at that multiplayer joke that dropped for Ghost of Tsushima. We had a good little bit of
Legends,
fun
yeah.
with that, and then we moved
Yep.
on. Like
Yep.
everything doesn't have to be a live service thing. What content are you gonna feed a Spider-Man game for years on end?
I totally agree. I think like the way that Spider-Man single player game is built, it's like, well, you don't gave us a lot of costumes. So to start charging for costumes seems really weird based off of the structure of that game. So it's just like what would we be spending money on to support this game that would not be like completely money grubby or whatever. So yeah, like you're absolutely right. It's like what would they put in this game? Like
And it's already like there are already 5 Spider-Man. Like how many different variants does uh Ghost Spider? Is that what they call it for real?
I think that's
Gwen?
Gwen,
Yeah, I know, but what is her
Spider
actual name?
Gwen.
Whatever. Like how many costumes does she have to support like a live service game? How many costumes does Miguel O'Hara have
Yeah,
to the point where you just everything just isn't a straight up recolor? You're gonna have people pay how much for recolors of a skin? Like what
yeah.
what was the ultimate goal with this?
That's the
I
thing,
want
and
to.
I think
I wish I could see what their monetization model was gonna look like.
yeah, like I feel like the more we talk about this, the more I can totally understand why this is just not going to be a thing. Because if like the end of okay, I guess spoilers for Spider-Man 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2. At the end of that, if you complete all of the Spider-Bot missions, you get a Easter egg drop of Miles opening up the the
Spider Portal,
portal.
or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, the spider portal, whatever
multiverse
they call
portal.
it. That's what it is. Yeah, he opens up the multiverse portal and he sees a person at a bar or whatever, and the person mentions Miguel. And if you've watched the Spider-Man Miles Morales, what is the movie called?
Spider Verse. Spider
Spider
Verse
and
movies.
across Spider. Yeah, yeah.
Into
If
the
you
Spider Verse, across the Spider Verse. Yeah.
across Spider, yeah. If you watch that, Miguel is sort of the villain for that movie. So it's weird to go from that to this, where it is Miguel's fighting with you, and it's just like that doesn't make sense. Like it would have been cool for a multiplayer mode, like you're saying, Sean, where it's just you, Peter, Miles, Spider Gwen, and then Miguel is the one that's chasing you or whatever. Like you're doing stuff to stop him from this whole multiverse stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like that makes more sense than the based off of the whole Spider-Man universe stuff that we're playing around with right now versus the Sinister Six. And it's just like, okay, I I don't know. I feel like they picked the Sinister Six because they wanted the Sinister Six to be the main villain for Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man 3. So this is kind of tying that in, but they're also tying in the multiverse stuff, which doesn't
But they also
really.
killed some of the Sinister Six.
Yeah, and then you have Venom because they also show Venom in the trailer as well. It's a hodgepodge of stuff. I'm just like, okay, what was the actual direction for this? And I think again, the more we talk about this beyond the cool looking trailer, the more it's like, all right, this kind of feels like a mess of things. And then you have the whole 5 player where like nothing really lines up with 5 players. Yeah, yeah. Again, it's I say all that to say like this wasn't a part of the original Insomniac leak. This was leaked after the fact.
Yeah.
So I wonder if this was leaked intentionally by one of the designers that um
Gauge interest or
was,
something.
yeah, to see if people were interested in this and to see if they could actually like convince Sony to bring it back or whatever. But
Hey
Yeah,
man, it worked for Deadpool.
hey, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. So the actual trailer itself is narrated by Yuri Lindenthal, the voice of Peter
Low and
Parker.
fall.
Lowenthal, yes, you're right. What did I say? Lindenthal. So yeah, I don't know. Well, you know, I don't want to say like, oh, maybe we'll see this again. I don't know. We'll see what happens. PlayStation right now is in a very difficult place right now. Number 3. Stellar Blade punishes down bad fans who equip the viral not safe for work skin suit by making the RPG so much harder. Yeah. All right, this comes to us from GamesRadar by way of Kieran Cryer. Kieran Cryer. Feel like I gotta go back to that name and figure that out. All right, so you can just Google the suit, guys, and look up the skin suit. It's essentially just a flesh colored suit that's have part of the panels cut out so you can see the main character's skin more or whatever, you know. So when
Okay, I
Celebrate
see it.
first dropped,
Interesting.
yeah, when Celebrate first dropped, I had jumped into the subreddit because I tend to do that for games that I'm interested in to see if there's like any news or whatever that drops. People talking
Why are you
about it
interested in this game, DJ?
because it looks cool. It looks cool, but I'll tell you one thing: that subreddit has like made me hate every Stellar Blade news thing that drops because that whole subreddit is participating in No Nut November all year long because they are just like all of them are down bad. It's just like, oh my god! Like there was a video circulating around of I don't even remember the name of the main character, but she climbs up a ladder and she slides down the ladder, and the top comment was like, game of the year jiggle physics, game of the year jiggle physics, because when she slides down the ladder her butt jiggles, and it's just like, I get it, I get it.
Nuts.
It's like, I get it. I was like 15 before, okay, I totally understand that.
And you can be 15 again, DJ.
Right?
Just gonna buy this game.
So they're playing this game to have to explain it. Okay, London, you can't be in the room because I can't control the camera in this game, and it's doing stuff that I don't necessarily want you to see.
Daddy's doing the research. Get out.
Right? So yeah, like I'm really interested to see how well this game does just all around, because the combat looks cool. Like it's a very fast action paced combat. I think there's like parries and stuff in the game. And then on that, like you have this main character who is literally built to be eye candy, and it's working very well, and it's garnering a lot of attention. So that's cool.
Which is weird because people didn't want to play Bayonetta, and what? Bayonetta had awesome action as well as physics.
No, you're totally right. You're totally right. But I almost think that Bayonetta is more of a character than Eve. Her name is Eve. Than Eve will be. And I
more
think
fully realized.
yeah, where like she has her own personality, and she's like, yeah, she's sexy, but like, she's basically a person. Whereas to me, Eve feels like, I wouldn't be surprised if we play this game and we find out that Eve is a robot. And it's like, all right, yeah, she's just
Even better for those fanboys because they'll go get their
exactly.
real whatever the hell them things are
Oh,
called. Real
real.
doll.
Oh,
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
We'll get them a real doll model after this and just hey man, AI is coming a long way. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, so this skin, this suit that she'll be, that you can pick to wear, is essentially a skin suit. And the skin suit, when equipped, the skin suit fully disable Eve's in-game shield ability. meaning you'll effectively have less in-game defense to rely on for Eve when using the skin suit, thus making yourself far more vulnerable. I think this is a really cool idea because the devs are basically like, hey,
you want to act like you're naked? We're going to treat you like you're naked.
Exactly. It's like, hey, man, she's eye candy. And if you want all the eye candy, you're going to have to work for it. So I think that's a cool idea. I like how they're capitalize not the right word, but I like how they're playing around with the whole, yeah, she's built to be this thing. And here you go. If you want more of that thing, good luck. And I don't know if there's actually any like a difficulty setting for the game, because I feel like if there was difficulty setting for the game, that would kind of cancel out this suit, making things harder for you. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with that game. When does that game come out, actually?
Next month, April 20th.
Is it April? Okay. All right. Cool. Number 4. Arika's vice president has shared an image of a mysterious Mega Man design. This comes to us from VGC, which is Video Game Chronicles, by way of Chris Scullion. So this is why I asked you if you were interested in Mega Man earlier. So this is a very weird Twitter conversation that kind of happened, and maybe it wasn't supposed to happen because right now the whole Twitter thread is deleted. It was deleted voluntarily. But what happened was Arika's vice president Ichiro Mihara was responding on X to a message posted about Megaman, also known as Rockman in Japan, by manga artist Arika. We'll just go with that. Arika had previously worked with Capcom on a number of Mega Man projects, including numerous manga comics. This is a quote. I used to draw Rockman manga and create encyclopedias and books with Capcom's official artwork, so I know a little about Rockman, Arika wrote, alongside with an illustration of Mega Man. Mihara responded with the post that he had redacted himself, saying, I used to make Rockman's ... comma ... and ... official ... comma. So I'm a bit familiar with Rockman. So it seems that Mihara essentially copied the tweet from Arika and just redacted some words.
Yeah.
But he did it as a Twitter reply, so everyone can still see the first post.
I guess we'll see in the coming months what the hell's coming up.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So beyond this, the main thing was the illustration of Mega Man that Arika had posted, which was that image was a close-up of Mega Man's helmet. It puzzled fans because the designs of the panels and the positioning of a bolt in Mega Man's glowing eyes didn't fit with any previous game designs. So everyone was kind of looking at this, wondering like, what does all of this mean? Like, what's going on? To note, Mihara was a producer of the 2003 GameCube title Mega Man Network Transmission. So some are suggesting it may be unused concept art from that game. Others believe that Mihara's decision to censor the post may suggest he's teasing the future Mega Man project. So I think there is a future Mega Man thing coming up, because right now, because I think last year Capcom said it was considering how to approach making new Mega Man games in the future. And I definitely think with the success of Prince of Persia, Lost Crown? I don't know. The latest Prince of Persia, the Metroidvania game that just came out. That is it's a Metroidvania game. Metroidvania games are good blueprints for Mega Man games, because that's essentially what they are in terms of you get powers, use powers to unlock different, maybe unlock, but like play through different sections of the stage or whatever. So I think Mega Man would be a good thing for Capcom to work through and like get something going for that. Because right now, Capcom is winning in a lot of ways. So they got Dragon's Dogma 2 coming out. Their Resident Evil remakes have been doing great. Street Fighter did great last year. Um, there's another game that I am forgetting. Yikes. Yeah. So yeah, I'm hoping that we're getting a new Mega Man. Will it be Legends? Doesn't look like it. This looks more like Mega Man, not Mega Man X, which is fine. I started playing Mega Man from Mega Man X, and then I went back to Mega Man. I was like, oh, this is cool, but X just appealed to me more with the whole rock and roll-ish kind of thing going on. But yeah, that's that. We'll see what happens there. Number 5, Satoshi Kano is teasing a Sega vs. Capcom collaboration. This comes to us from My Nintendo News from Sicker. Don't know who that is. Former Sega developer Satoshi Akano. Oh, that was a typo. Okay. For Satoshi Okano, who worked on a number of Sega titles, has recently been teasing that a Sega vs. Capcom collaboration is in the works. The developer has taken to X to tease it to tease it a couple times now. Franchises could well be a part of it, including Sonic the Hedgehog, Samba de Amigo. You know what that is?
Yeah, it's a rhythm game with the maracas or not maracas, whatever you call it.
Oh,
But you kind of shake them.
yeah, the shake. Yeah.
Dance Revolution for your hands.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you got that, you got Street Fighter and the new Kanitsu Gami series. I don't even know what that is. If it is indeed legitimate, then it could be huge. I am so lost in the sauce with all this other than the Street Fighter and Sonic the Hedgehog, and I don't even know how those two games would blend well together other than Street Fighter skins looking like
Well,
Sonic
I
characters.
mean, I don't know. It's a Street Fighter too. Okay. I mean, unless they're doing like a Marvel versus Capcom thing again,
Hmm.
we'll see.
Yeah. So I
We'll
mean,
see.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see there. I think Sega vs. Capcom is pretty interesting. For some reason in my head, I was like, oh, they've done that before. But no, it's Marvel versus Capcom that they've done, not Sega versus Capcom. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. Number 6. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sales drop about 90% in Japan. This comes to us from Insider Gamer by way of Anthony Fertino. I got this nice little ad to skip through. So, according to latest sales report from Famitsu, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth sales fell to 24,482 copies the week of March 4th to 10th. The game's total sales now sits as 287,138 in its second week after its release. It's previously held first place, selling 262,656 copies throughout its launch week. This may surprise fans since critics and players alike given Final Fantasy VII Rebirth very strong reviews. However, the number actually fall in line with the series' previously released in Japan. Okay. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth launch. So the main thing is that
So it
this may
sounds like it's
surprise
par
us.
for the course, though.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is the numbers drop, but this is Japan. This is not including every
It's
worldwide.
just Japan.
Yeah. And it seems that, once everybody bought the game,
This
that's
is
kind
why
of what it is.
percentages and numbers kind of suck depending on how you're reporting on them. Because
Hmm.
if literally 90% of the island bought the game the first week, everybody has it already. Of course, sales are going to drop.
Exactly. Yeah. And that
I
is
feel like
a
it's clickbait.
single player game.
Yeah.
So yeah. So it's not all doom and gloom for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I I am very fascinated with the global numbers for that because
Yeah.
I think that will be sort of telling with how well it's actually doing. Again, this article is kind of okay, well, yeah, it drops 90%, but that's kind of okay for the type of game it is. So yeah, we'll see. All right. Before we get to the last little bit of the podcast, or I guess news, not the podcast itself, but news. Hey, you good? Great. Do us a solid. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Thanks. If you're listening, leave us a review. Tell your friends. Tell your loved ones. Tell the ones that you don't love so much. Everyone should be given the opportunity to listen to our voices or see our faces, depending on what they want to do. It's up to them. All right. Yeah, let's get back into this. Number 7. Latest rounds of EA layoffs hit Respawn's Apex Legends team. This comes to us from PC Mag by way of Kate Irwin. So, it's currently unclear what type of roles and departments were most affected. Though Apex social media, okay, so yeah, I had just jumped right into this. Yeah, so as the title says, Respawn Entertainment was also hit with layoffs, specifically the Apex Legends team, which is very weird, seeing how Apex Legends has been doing very well for EA, although it's been declining a little bit. It's still one of their top money makers. So to remove people from that team feels like a last resort, in the same way that PlayStation removed people from Insomniac and Naughty Dog, when it's like, those are your two like top earning teams. Like, what are you doing? So overall, this does not look very good for the industry as a whole. Yeah, definitely sucks. But yeah, it is currently unclear what type of roles and departments were affected, though Apex social media lead has since shared she was laid off. A source familiar with the layoffs told PC Mag that Apex staff have not been told how many employees that their has not been told how many employees from their games have had been laid off in total, but said that the layoffs are impacting underperformers.
That's some bullshit.
Underperformers. Yeah, exactly. Respawn's Apex layoffs come 2 weeks after EA confirmed it was laying off 5% of staff and canceling Respawn's Star Wars game. Apex layoffs this week appear to include some of this previously announced 5% numbers and then some, the person familiar with the layoff said. EA, however, told PC Mag via email that Wednesday's layoffs were a part of the earlier 5% announcement. So, meaning that this layoff was accounted for when they said they were laying off 5% 2 weeks ago. So IGN later reported that 23 employees were impacted. EA also laid off 200 Apex Legends quality assurance testers last year. So, yeah.
We're still going to be seeing this for a good 5 years into the future, I'd say.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the long tail of COVID being such a moneymaker for the industry, and the publishers essentially followed the rule of make your money work for you. You don't save the money, you spend the money to make more money in your future. So they spent the money to get all these new employees, all this fresh blood into the industry, which is great. But now that things are slowing down, the money is not coming in as much. The publishers are scared, and when they get scared, they start shrinking. They start laying off the underperformers or the people that they don't quote unquote need as much.
Or they're
And it's
probably
just
just
like,
letting go of the newer people before they get vested, however their retirement plans work at some of these companies.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, because it's not even letting go of the newer people, because in some situations, like for example, the social media lead, like that's the lead. Like that's not, So
that's somebody posted on social media. As
what?
callous as that sounds,
I will say though, it gets a little bit more complicated when you're dealing with like a live service game, two, a a game for a big company, and Apex is super popular. So she is probably dealing with a lot being the social media lead and like having to balance what they're sharing versus the community reactions and all that stuff. So it, it's just it's weird that you lay off people with the experience that helped your game become popular and get
Yeah,
big.
if you got
So it's just
experience, that
like
means you're costing the company money.
that's also true. That's also true.
The higher up you are, the more you're costing us. And I mean,
Yeah,
that's how. Don't be loyal to any companies, folks, unless you're working for
exactly.
state and local government, federal government.
Unless you're working for yourself.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can fire yourself.
That's true,
You know,
right?
sexual harassment, and I mean,
Right. It's like, but wait, there's only one person at this company, it's me.
stop it. I don't
All
like that.
right.
Nah, go ahead.
Number 8. Oh my gosh. I just had a flash of like what was a sexual harassment case? I gave myself a stranger, I didn't like it.
Marcus said that out.
Right?
Ew, DJ.
All right, number 8. Star Wars Battlefront Collection's blowback gets worse as players discover it demands over 8 times more storage than the original game combined. Oh, this comes to us by way of GamesRadar from Hope Bellingham. That's a cool name. That's a Baldur's Gate name, I'll tell you that. So yeah, did you play Star Wars Battlefront like when it first came out?
I played Battlefront 2 on the
Mm-hmm.
PS4, something like the demo of that. But I mean, I'm not a.
Star Wars person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play this at all when it first came out either, and I played the same demo of Battlefront 2, and it was fine. It was fun. Um, yeah. So this re-release is such a mess. Like this article is talking about how huge the storage is, but I think there is a bigger issue from this article than the storage. So on March 14th, the previously announced Star Wars Classic Collection went live and very quickly gained a mostly negative review rating on Steam. It seems fans are mostly disappointed by the game's online functionality, which saw players try to cram into one of 3 servers that offered
Ah,
192 spaces between them.
so I have a I have a support article for that.
Yes.
So because I don't think I shared this with the group, but basically
Okay.
they had 3 servers, 64 player launch servers for nearly 10,000 users. Do the numbers.
That blows my mind with like compare that with Helldivers 2 and how they were struggling thinking they were going to get like 50k people. They had 3 servers and said we're
No,
done.
no, I don't think Helldiver started out thinking they were gonna have that much. I think it was way less than that.
No, they thought they had predicted it's going to be 50k people playing,
Oh,
and they had like 100 or like 300,000 people. But yeah, like to have just 3 servers
yeah.
for a Star Wars thing, like what are you doing? It could be the worst Star Wars game, and people are going to buy and play it because it is Star Wars. That is such like
Mm.
irresponsible behavior. Like it blows my mind how it got this far. And again, like you
So
know,
allegedly, you can host your own servers, but that feature isn't working properly. Um,
oh,
it's just
I
a, it's
see.
just nothing is working on this game, and unfortunately, we're gonna keep on getting remakes, remasters, and
Oh yeah.
re-releases because people buy them. Um,
Oh yeah.
it says
And
if you can manage to get into a server, some players cannot respawn, um, or cannot spawn at all. Like it's just I don't know because apparently, like let me see, last month's Tomb Raider re-releases
mhm.
were well regarded. So I don't know how they.
And here's the thing that like just to get back on the whole like massive layoffs and all this stuff, like the remakes, the rush of remakes that we got was also used to teach the new people how to work with the team, how to work with the engines, how to essentially get more ingrained in the development process.
Hey, hey,
And
hey! You know who would have caught this? This is an EA game, right? It's an EA property.
yep, yep,
You know who would have caught this? Quality testers,
yep,
quality assurance
you're
testers.
totally
But
right.
they
Yep,
got rid of them, didn't they?
yep, yep.
Hmm.
This is a mess. Like again, this is one of those things where it's just like EA. I honestly feel like this was probably rushed out to um essentially be one of the games that EA has to get out in order to keep the Star Wars license because they have to release X number of games, X
Oh, they got a
years.
similar. Okay.
Yeah, and I feel like because we got Star Wars Jedi Survivor last year. I think this essentially would be the Star Wars game 2. They're not going to do the Mandalorian game anymore. They're going to do Jedi Survivor 3 or whatever they want to call that. So this could be in line with like, hey, this is a Star Wars game that's out technically, and it didn't launch great, but it's still out and it still meets the criteria for whatever contract they have with Lucasfilm or Disney, I guess at this point. So yeah, that
Mhm.
just a mess, just a mess. All right. Number 9, former Battlefield director has nothing positive to say about EA after leaving, and it kind of aligns with everything else. So, this comes to us by way of Mike Straw. Former Battlefield director Mark Leith, Lithtu has taken to Twitter to make it clear that he has nothing nice to say about his former employer EA after leaving the company in February. Quote, not been no, not been saying much here since I don't have anything positive to say about EA, my recent departure, and how many, including my team, are suffering due to the industry sweeping layoffs, he said. Just a day after Lithu Lithu
Leto.
made his departure. Lito? Is it Lito? Okay.
Mhm.
Uh made his departure from the company public. EA announced that it was laying off 5% of its global workforce, including shutting down of Ridgeline Studios. Ridgeline has been responsible for the single player development of the Battlefield franchise, which Battlefield is another game that people are EA people, Battlefield people are desperate to have because Battlefield 2042, 2024, I don't know, whatever that last Battlefield game was, did not do well. They said they were going to make a battle royale mode for it that took literally years to come out. By the time it came out, the Battlefield market was not, or the battle royale market was not the same.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just all kinds of bad. So now EA shut down the people that are responsible for the single player portion of that game, which is very weird because that was one of the things that people wanted from Battlefield was to bring back a single player mode. So
I mean,
yeah,
the stories were forgettable. So I mean, it is what it is.
true,
They
true.
didn't. They didn't have a.
Campaign like Call of Duty.
Yeah, moments like Call of Duty where like uh, the plane crashes, the nuke goes off, all
Hmm.
of that. They didn't have any noteworthy things like that happen
Yeah,
in the ones that I played. So I mean, I can see why.
yeah. Because I think Jordan, anytime you ask him, he always says he wants another bad company from Battlefield, and it's like,
Everybody wants that.
yeah, yeah. So, in its announcement of the studio's closure, Laura Mealy, president of EA Entertainment and Technology, seems to insinuate that Lethal's exit was part of the reason the studio's closed. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah.
It is what
Oh,
it is,
okay.
man.
So, say again.
I said it is what it is.
Yeah. So Marcus Leto
Leto.
recently made a personal decision to leave the projects, he said. To ensure our work continues uninterrupted, we immediately appointed leadership at Criterion to oversee our single player work. As part of this change, we will be winding down Ridgeline as a standalone studio in Seattle, which some team members joining Ripple Effect. So yeah, it essentially he left on bad terms from EA, and they wind down the studio that he was at. It looks like Criterion's going to be making the single player franchise, the single player mode from Battlefield, which they make car games, right?
Yeah,
Wait.
I'm just looking at other little headlines. It's just
Mm-hmm.
why are they making an Among Us show?
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know.
And then apparently LinkedIn wants to have games on its platform.
LinkedIn needs to stop right now. You do jobs, and that's it. Just keep it there. Stay in your lane. You don't need to do games. Like, I mean, and LinkedIn should be doing well right now with all the layoffs. Like a bunch of people should be going to LinkedIn. Like, what? Why do you need games? But yeah, that's sad. We'll see what happens in the future because all this stuff is always up in the air. EA, they need some milk, man. All right. The last little bit is a quick one. I guess we'll call this number 10. Smash
Sure.
hit Balatro is coming to iPhone and Android. This comes to us from The Verge. Yeah, for those who don't know, Balatro is a smash hit. This game has been like, I guess, underground. So the
Yeah.
addictive magic roulette poker game
No,
Balatro,
no,
which
no, no,
grows to
no, 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 no. Roll that back. Magic roguelike.
oh, what did I say?
Roulette.
Oh,
He just flying
gambling,
with no
gambling, gambling.
goddamn. He flying with no seatbelt, DJ. The addictive magic roguelike poker game Balatro grossed 1 million in 8 hours, selling
Yes,
500,000 copies in roughly 10 days. Damn, so
yes.
if they made wow, how much did he make? Apparently it's been played for a cumulative 1,742 years by all its players. That is bonkers.
Yeah,
And
man.
I don't have a PC, so apparently it's on Windows PCs and consoles. I don't know what console it's on. Oh, Switch.
Switch, yeah.
Okay, so they have a Switch version, they have a PC, and apparently there's a Mac OS port. But I'll wait till it comes to the phone.
Yep,
But
yep.
if you like poker and you like roguelike games and all that good stuff,
Like
Balatro, yeah.
right now, I on my phone, the main game I play is Marvel Snap. So to have another card game, I'm down
Mm.
for it. And like this I have heard so much about this game that's just like I actually can't wait to play this game. Like I'm actually really happy that it's coming to iPhone and Android because
Mhm.
it to me it feels like the perfect like this game belongs on mobile. Switch, I it's weird to pick up my Switch to play a card game like that. So
Yeah.
to me, I'm like, I'm definitely gonna play this game when it comes out on my phone.
So apparently, his biggest influence was Luck Be a Landlord, and they intentionally did not play Slay the Spire or other
Mm,
popular rogue-like deck builders during early development to avoid cribbing from them.
yeah,
So I'm interested to see what this is like. I would try Slay the Spire though. That is a
yeah.
very good game.
I
They
played
have
a
it
little
on
bit of
mobile
that
as
too.
well. Yeah, they have it
Yeah.
on mobile as well now.
Hmm.
Interesting, interesting.
So yeah, that is it for the news. Let us wrap up with what we have been playing. Sean, what have you been playing?
More like a dragon.
Hmm.
Damn these twist and Japanese soap opera, esque telenovelas. This game is awesome. The story is awesome. I am slowly. I think I'm on like chapter 10. There's 16 chapters, and I'm just slow burning it. I'm taking my time getting through all the challenges. For once, I'm not sure if you had to play New Game Plus or Platinum it for the last game, but you don't have to do it for this game. So I may Platinum it. I don't know.
Hey, okay.
Because I mean, I
Okay.
have Final Fantasy to play, and of course I have Skin Suit. I mean, Stellar Blade to play next month.
Hey, man.
So
Yeah, okay.
I don't know, but you can't go wrong with Infinite Wealth. I think what makes this RPG so different than like a Final Fantasy is that it is set in the real world, and it's just silliness abound all over the place in this game.
Yeah.
You got people in trench coats flashing you as enemies, or people in beach balls, or I don't know. You got people popping up out the sand getting you. You got robots. Police are turning to robot cyborgs that.
Yeah.
Like this game is everywhere, and it is very, very interesting to play. Yeah,
that's awesome though. So I've been playing a bunch of stuff, but I'm actually gonna two things. The first thing, there was a Gundam Battle Operations 2 tournament that happened yesterday, and I sat and I watched the whole thing. It was completely like community driven, and it was just like, oh, this is great that they're able to do something like Gundam, like Battle Operations 2. They've had tournaments before, but because it's a Japanese focused game, the tournaments have been in Japan in Japanese. No translations.
Oh, wait, were these live or something? Like, were these in person?
No. It was online. It was online. No,
Why weren't you in it either?
I didn't know this was a thing that happened. Like, the reason why I'm bringing this up was because this is my first time. Like they did something like the community driven one.
DJ isn't as tapped in as he thought he was.
No, no. I was like, oh my, like I sat there and like was part of the YouTube chat or whatever, was talking or whatever, and it's just like, because I know 3 content creators that I follow was a part of this community, was part of this whole
How the hell do you make enough money as a content creator on Gundam Battle Operations 2?
Easy answer, you don't. You do it for the love. That's it. Is it a full-time job? Absolutely. They say it's not their
press
full-time
X to start.
right.
We make no money.
Right. So yeah, so that was like really cool to just be a part of and just like sit in the chat and just like, talk to people. A much better experience than sitting in Reddit and talking to people on Reddit, and yeah.
Were you watching this, looking at it like, I could whoop all these niggas?
You know what? Part of it was like, yeah, and then like there's one person, his name is Spider Chief. Like, he was just mopping up the floor, and I was just like, damn, like I've seen his videos, and it's like he just plays
Kodak Black mop.
right? And like it just seems that like he just plays the game a lot, so he's just very knowledgeable about the suits and what suits to use and like positioning all that stuff. So it's like, oh man, that's just cool just to see all this stuff and just be like, okay, well, I got to figure out how to be in this next year for sure. But yeah, so that's that. The other thing, Helldivers 2. So Helldivers 2 has done a fantastic job of fully realizing the live serviceness of the game. There, like this past week, earlier this week, there was this whole rumors of like there's flying bugs in the game. And the developers at Arrowhead came out and said, like, no, that's a bug sympathizer right there. Like, we don't have flying, like bugs don't fly. Like, what are you talking about? And then Thursday of this week, they released season 2. Season 2 dropped this whole like electric focused battle pass where the armor that you get is electric resistance. They tweaked some of the guns and so on and so forth. They provided a new assault rifle. And essentially there are flying bugs in the game now. But then there's also now rumors of the robots like getting just like giant walker thing that could be very difficult to take down. And basically, they're just doing such a great job of dropping some stuff, responding to the fanfare of the stuff that dropped, and then, following up with more leaks or more um tidbits to like talk and like just essentially just keep the Helldivers 2 engine going. And props to them for being able to capitalize on this huge success of the game that they didn't really plan for, but they are adapting very well and just going with it.
Yeah.
It seems that there's already rumors of what the next season content is going to be, and apparently it's going to be fire based, which is great because I thought fire based was going to be happening this season, but it's not. So it's what it is. But yeah, that game just keeps on getting better. That's pretty much it. Next week, man, it's gonna be Dragon's Dogma. So I'll be I'm definitely gonna have to put down Baldur's Gate 3. Helldivers is gonna take a hit from me. But yeah, when that comes out, I'm gonna be all about that. And I can't wait. All right, that's it. We did it. That's the show, guys. We hope you enjoyed this show as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget, you can like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. If you were listening to us with your ears, not your eyes, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or podcast service you're tuned in on. And if you want, you can join our conversation by going to pressxm2start.com/discord. And that will take you there where you need to be. Yeah, that's it. We did it. You have a great day. You have a good day. You continue playing games. Wash your hands because people are getting sick out here. Take some allergy medicine because the pollen is going to get all up in your nose. It's terrible. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Boop, 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 boop.